In this video, we're going to talk about how to add students into Azure Lab Services. So once the templates have been built out, once you've got those things deployed, how do you actually add students to them? Let's look at it. So I've gone ahead and I've got a lab built out here, and this is the basic dashboard that you will see when you log in. We can see right now we've got a quota of about 50 hours per student and a total of 10 students. 10 times 50 means 500 total hours, plus an estimated cost of 55 cents an hour. There, total of 275. So how would you actually assign users to this in order to get them access to it? Well, first thing we might want to do is look into, on the left-hand side here, under the virtual machine pool. Up at the top here, we see lab capacity currently is at 10 users. If I click on that, a little blade slides out from the right-hand side, and I can change the number of users. Each person should have their own virtual machine. So if I have a class of 25, I would want to change this to 25, 25, 30. Ultimately, it doesn't cost us anything if we go over. So if we just estimate 30, we only get charged per minute of the machines actually being powered on. Don't go excessive. There's no point for 3,000. But anyways. So go ahead and set that there and then click save. That will take a couple of minutes. What it will do is that it will clone out the virtual machines and it will spawn them out to the environment. So I'm going to change this to just 15 as an example and say save. And then it's spawning out the new virtual machines at this point. So once the virtual machine capacity has been built out, we then go over to the users tab on the left-hand side. And we see right here is the quota of 50 hours. If we want to change the quota, we can click on that and change the quota to whatever we want right here. Now that changes the quota for everybody. So if one person needs more than everybody else, I don't necessarily want to put that there. In order to add users, I come up here to the Add Users dropdown. I can go ahead and click Add by Email Address or Upload CSV. So if I add by email address, I can go ahead and type in testuser@example.com and then click Save. So what that does is that simply adds in them as a possible user. They're currently not registered. For them to register, they have to click on a registration link. I can do that by sending an email. So there's an invite all button right here that will send an email to the users right here. So we can go ahead and type in a message. This is the class discussed. And then I click send and it will send them a link specifically for them to be invited into the class. So that, or what I could do is just simply use this registration link right here. Write this on a whiteboard, probably not, but I could copy and paste it into an email and send it to the student. Once the student clicks on that, their status will change from not registered to registered, at which point they are assigned to the class and can then access the virtual machines. Few other things while we're here. If they lose the registration link, you can go ahead and click on the invite button. When you hover next to their name, there's a little folder. You can click on that to invite them and it will resend the invite to that person. Additionally, I can click on the additional actions here and I can adjust the quota. If this one particular user is using more time than was initially allocated, I can just simply click on them, say adjust quota, and then give additional hours. Current, let's say an additional 10 hours, which gives them a total for 60. And then one last thing is the virtual machine pool. So the users have the ability to start and stop their virtual machines. You as an administrator can also do that as well. If, for instance, you expect the entire class to come in at a specific time, you can actually click Start All to warm up the machines prior to them coming in, but then you can also start and stop them. Additionally, there's also this reset button right here, which basically resets the entire virtual machine for the student. That deletes their virtual machine, redeploys from a template, and then they get back in as a brand new virtual machine. Be careful with that because that does take a while and, as it says, cannot be undone. Expect about an hour of downtime. Use this only if the entire machine is unusable. Blue screens, crashes, does not boot, that kind. So there you go. That's adding students to the Azure Lab Services, getting them set up, and getting them able to log in.